Welcome to the Hardcore MBA Podcast with your host, Erland Bakke.
Okay, this is the cat episode with Neil Patel. I think the cat wants to maybe not stay with me. Hi Neil, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in your city of birth, London, and it is warm here. There's a fan on and everything. The good thing with having short hair, though, is that you don't get as hot as these other people.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So you were born in London. You went to the US. When did you first know that you wanted to become an entrepreneur?
Ooh, probably age like 13, 14, somewhere around there.
And your parents are entrepreneurs and stuff, and they taught you all their magic.
No, my mom's an entrepreneur. My dad worked 9 to 5. They didn't teach me much magic. I learned quite a bit though from them, family members, etc. It was more so I started because I just wanted to make money. And when you're 13, 14 years old, you can't get a 9 to 5 job that pays well. And if you Google like the richest people in the world, almost all of them are business owners. It's either they inherited it from someone who's a business owner or they're a business owner. So it was like, all right, I guess I'm going to be one. I started for the wrong reasons, but it all worked out in the end.
So when you started making a lot of money, what did that make you more happy or not? Or
at first it did because I bought silly shit that I didn't need, and then after that stopped making me happy, and I don't know. Eventually,
I'm sure you still have some silly shit that you still don't need that you own.
People, I don't know. My buddies make fun of me for my logic. So, for example, my iPhone 5 just broke. I had it for 3.5 years, and I got a new iPhone. I bought the iPhone SE, which you can see here, because it was free and I didn't want to pay for the 6 or the 6S. I'm like, why would I pay for a phone? And then my dad tells me, he's just like, how dumb are you? You'll spend $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 a night for a hotel room, and I do that often because I travel a lot. And he was like, but you won't spend $50 or $100 to get an iPhone 6. I think it was $200. And I'm like, no, I refuse to. It's too expensive. So on some things, I'm really frugal, and then other things I make probably poor financial decisions, like hotels, flights, clothes, stuff like that.
So what was the first thing that you bought where you really felt like you made it?
I haven't really bought anything like that. I'm still somewhat frugal. I don't really do crazy big purchases. There's certain things that I buy that are expensive, like watches are my bad habit. But I don't look at a watch and spend the money and be like, I made it.
Okay, so you were 13, you started your first business. What was your first business and lessons from that?
Sure, I was just selling CDs, DVDs, car parts to other kids in my school. And I was making good cash, but I was like, this isn't scalable. I need to do something better and reach more people than the population of my high school. That's when I got into the internet, because I was like, ooh, I can target the world from the internet. Forget my high school. My high school didn't even have 1,000 people.
And what time is this? Is it like 94, 97, 2000?
This was 2000.
Okay. So the internet now has I think eBay's created, Google's sort of happening.
Yeah, eBay's already out. Google's already out. So I'm just cranking along and trying to maximize what I have. I wish I knew what I knew now back then, because I would be really killing it. But live and learn. I bet you everyone says that.
Yeah, I mean, I had one of those today. I had a bit of a breakthrough, and I said, I kind of knew this about 4 years ago, but I had to try something else first, just to see that it didn't work, and then keep on trying to see if I could get it to work. I'm not sure if you've ever done that. If you've you've fallen in love with an idea, and then you've just consistently tried to make it work, like pouring money and time into it.
Yeah, I don't really do too many ideas. For me, it's more so just cranking along, doing the stuff I love, and just focusing. Because that was my bad habit before. I would try too many things. And I realized that I'm just doing way too many businesses and going after too many ideas versus focusing. It was the shiny object syndrome.
And how do you now focus away from like the shiny object syndrome?
I just focus on the core business and that's it. I just ignore everything else.
Okay. So you don't read the news and stuff like that? You just kind of...
I read the news.
You do?
Read the news, a lot of the tech sites out there, network. But my big thing I learned is from a guy named Brian Lee, who's part of Honest Company. He was the founder and CEO, or co-founder and CEO. He did LegalZoom before that. And he told me that you should always focus on your core business. Once the growth starts flattening out, that's when you expand. Until then, you stick with that same business. I was like, oh, that's a good way to put it.
So let's just put you in perspective of things, because we talked about you started out early as an entrepreneur. But basically, can you just tell us about yourself, all the victories you got? Like you got a bunch of companies, you got 150 employees. Your Hello Bar is downloaded by millions. Is it on millions of websites?
No, hundreds and thousands.
Hundreds and thousands of websites. Kissmetrics is used by lots and lots of people. You got lots of followers on Facebook. I saw on your website that it's made by a company called I'm Kind of a Big Deal. You are a big deal when it comes to online, right?
I don't think I'm a big deal. The funny part is at first that corporate name was just sort of my shell corporations.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was your name. I thought it was somebody else that made your website. I just used it to explain to people that you've done a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, no, so that's my shell corporation.
Okay.
And at that time, my first book was supposed to be called I'm Kind of a Big Deal. Never published it or created it. I have a new book coming out called Hustle, though.
Yeah.
In a few months. You can get it on Amazon. But I only had that corporation because I was using it to do transactions. Nothing illegal, just stuff that I didn't want people to know about, so it couldn't be...
No Silk Road stuff.
No what?
No Silk Road stuff.
No Silk Road stuff. So more so stuff. It was every time that we would create new companies and stuff like that, people would post on TechCrunch or VentureBeat like, oh, these guys are creating this, they raise money. So I didn't want something tied to me where people can just start writing articles about me or what I'm doing before I was ready for it. And that's the problem. When you raise money and you do all these kind of things, people can look it up. It's all published online. So when I create a company, when I do transactions, that people aren't writing about everything. Just legitimate stuff, nothing bad. I just didn't want all the people writing about me.
So what you're saying is that you set up your business in a smart way.
Yeah, I could even set it up in a smarter way, but it's pretty efficient.
So, so you actually haven't taken any investment. You're 100%. You own your stuff 100%.
The businesses, yes. Kissmetrics, we raised quite a bit of money. I'm no longer working at Kiss. I haven't in years. But Crazy Egg, Hello Bar, I'm Kind of a Big Deal, Nutrition Secrets. We still have one too many businesses, but everything we've done has always been self-funded.
So let's just talk through the different businesses that you mentioned. So Hello Bar, what is that?
Hello Bar helps you capture more emails from your website. That's the simplest way. If you're a website, you want more email addresses, use Hello Bar, because then you can market to those emails and then generate more sales. The beautiful part about Hello Bar is you don't have to have a design or coding bone in your body. It just does it all for you, and it's free.
It's like copy paste, and then it's there. And we use that on the Hardcore MBA website as well.
Cool.
I saw Tim Ferriss was using it. Did you pay him to use it, or no? He used it just because he thought it was cool.
I'm assuming so. Never really pitched him to use it.
Okay. Do you know him yourself, or?
I've never met him in person. I've had a phone call or two with him, some emails back and forth, and that's it.
Okay. Cool. So we're moving on. Kissmetrics. What does Kissmetrics do?
Kissmetrics helps you optimize the lifetime value of your customers, and that was the one that was venture backed. I haven't worked there in over 2 years, but the company's cranking along, keeps growing.
And next company, the health related one.
Nutrition Secrets, it was more of a contest. It's not a real business. We just do that for fun.
Okay. And your last one?
Crazy Egg. And that's like, think of your website. You get traffic to your website. If you're not sure why people aren't converting or not getting enough sales, that's what it fixes.
Okay, so what are people doing wrong online? I've noticed with your websites, they're very clean, they're very simple, there are very few things you can choose to do. You kind of go straight to the benefit, like opt in here, I'll teach you how to get hundreds and thousands of views to your website. There's a lot of people wanting to make money online. What are sort of the basic things that they do wrong?
Yeah, the biggest thing that people are doing wrong is what you mentioned. They're trying to do too much shit. Pick one thing that you want people to do, go for it, and that's it. And then optimize for that one conversion point. If you're Amazon or e-commerce site that's big, sure, do whatever you want. You built up the brand loyalty. But until then, focus on one thing. The other big mistake that we see site owners making is they try to do too many marketing methods. From social media to SEO to paid advertising to conversion rate optimization. There's not enough time in the world to do them all. Pick one or two of them, focus on it. Once you get it right, then you can expand into others.
And that's what we were talking about earlier as well. It's the same. Do you to focus? Do you consider yourself a creative person?
I am. I'm pretty creative.
Okay, so how do you then? I'm very creative, right? So I want to do like this and that, and my most recent thing is like, oh, I want to have this like clothing brand on the side just for fun. That's my most recent thing. It is not because of money, just because I want to have fun with the project. So, as a creative person, a couple of tips on staying focused.
Yeah, well, if you want to stay focused, don't do the clothing brand on the side. If it's not for money, go find someone else's clothing company and help them out and accomplish your goals from that.
Yeah.
But the way I stay focused is I organize my day based off tasks that I need to accomplish for the day, and I work on getting them done, and that's it. And I focus on one business or two businesses. That's it. Like Crazy Egg and Hello Bar, same company. Crazy Egg owns Hello Bar. That's kind of a big deal, which does like consulting and other stuff like that. I don't really do much there. I just focus on Crazy Egg.
Right, so you're disciplined.
Yeah. It takes time. Someone couldn't tell me tricks or hacks. It just took me many years until I was like, all right, I should just focus.
Do you find like that you go through like phases where you're really focused, and then like you go like, oh, now I want to be like creative and throw things around? Does that happen?
Yeah, it does, but I usually get back really fast into the focus train.
Okay. Is that because you realize how many things you will miss out on by not focusing?
Well, when I don't focus, I don't make as much money, so I just go back to focusing whenever possible.
Good. So let's talk about, so meditation is meant to help people to focus. Do you have any practice like that? Do you do like mindfulness or TM or anything like that?
No, I don't meditate or anything like that. I just work.
What about fitness? Are you into like eating healthy?
I eat really healthy. I try to eat organic food, no fried food, no dairy, no like cheese or unhealthy food like fries. Eat a ton of greens and vegetables. I do a morning green juice. I do a lot of stuff fitness related. I do Muay Thai, boxing. I run a lot. That's mainly it. That helps with the focus. But for me, I just love working. And when I find something I love, I just keep cranking at it.
And what's your motivation behind eating what you're eating?
I feel good. When I eat shit, I feel like shit.
So my big transformation from sort of eating whatever to eating healthy was like, I realized, if I actually eat healthy food, I have more energy. If I have more energy, I can make more money. That was that's when I started changing my food habits.
Yeah, I also get more energy too when I eat healthy. It's funny, if you eat carbs, try removing carbs from your diet. At first you won't have energy, but after a while you'll feel that you'll have more energy.
Right. Because it's the cravings, little craving monsters in our belly.
That's right.
Okay, so you've gotten a lot of big... one question before that. You live in Vegas. Have you ever met Andre Agassi?
Andre Agassi?
Yeah, because he lives in Vegas.
The tennis player?
Yeah.
I didn't know he lives in Vegas.
Yeah,
He's a great tennis player. Him and Pistol Pete.
He's got a school and everything. The Andre Agassi It's one of those schools where like it's a public school, but you have to like be I can't remember what they're called, but they're like you have to apply for them, and they're really strict. Anyway, I'll probably come up with it later. But yeah, Agassi lives in Vegas. You should hang out with him.
You're right. I'm just looking at his house. I Googled Andre Agassi.
Yeah.
He's done well. 8 Grand Slams, gold medalist.
Yeah. He's the man.
He Steffi Graf, the other tennis player as well.
Yeah. He's the man. You should read his biography called Open. It's very cool. So you got a lot of highly paid consulting gigs. You worked with the government, Gawker, lots of other companies. How do you get those gigs? I mean, so many people want to work with these companies. How do they? Do you have an agent?
No, honestly, I just get a shitload of traffic to my sites because I blog a lot.
Okay.
There's no real trick. It's conferences, coming out with a book. That would probably help a bit more. Speaking at conferences, not just networking. I've been blogging for years. That helps. I'm starting a podcast soon to come up with a name for it. That would probably help. I'll probably start doing YouTube video clips on marketing. Yep. That should probably help.
Okay, so you've been on the internet now for like 16 years, probably before that as well. Where do you kind of see the internet moving the next sort of 10, 15 years? Because you've sort of lived your life on the internet for like 15 years. You've seen like all the things happening. Where are we going?
Well, if you look at the next 10, 15 years, I really do believe you're going to start seeing social media everywhere. And what I mean by this is the amount of data Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn has on you. Why not integrate that into your daily lives? Even Yelp. If I was at a restaurant and they're starting to become computerized, it should be like, welcome, Neil. Here's the food options we recommend. Your 5 friends ate this dish and they rated it as the best dish here. Would you like us to order this for you?
Right.
That's getting personalized, right? That's where you're going to start seeing technology move in the next X years, or 5, 10 years, whatever it may be.
And what needs to happen with current technologies for us to be? So do these different apps need to open up more?
Apps need to open up more. There's hardware limitations. Hardware's been cranking along really fast, but you have to start getting more powerful in smaller increments or devices, right? And I think they're all doing a great job at that. Battery life is a big issue with a lot of these hardware devices because they can do a lot, but then the battery has to be big or else they die really fast.
So in this world where we're carrying around our smartphone and everything's much more integrated, and we're getting advice on food, etc., etc. What's the relevance of the website still? Is it still relevant to have will we still have laptops and will we still go to websites?
Yeah, I think we'll still have laptops, we'll have websites. I just think they'll look different. A laptop may not look like what we're used to today. What it'll look like, I have no idea. I'm not a visionary like Steve Jobs was, right? But I would have never assumed that the iPhone could exist. It's an amazing device. I do believe they're going to start getting into crazy things like holograms and stuff like that. But the big mistake that a lot of companies are going to make is the use cases. Just because you can create something doesn't mean people need it. Look at the Apple Watch. They make a shitload of money from it. You have it. Do you really use that watch?
I do. I use it for Apple Pay.
Okay.
And I track my fitness.
Okay, but there's already things that track fitness. And Apple Pay you can do from your phone. But do you really need that watch?
No.
Does it make that big of a difference to you by having it, or can you live without it?
Yeah, no, can't live without it. Gotta have it now. Gotta have it.
Really?
No. I really like Apple Pay. I tell you, like in London, you can pay like that everywhere. And you go to the pub down the road, just like. Boop. So it is actually really practical in that sense. Fitness tracking, it's good because it actually tells me to stand up. So if I'm really focused on something and I'm like plodding away, it goes like stand up, and then I walk around for a while. Gamification of your day. Like yesterday I had like 1,500 calories because I was cycling around a lot and going to lots of meetings and things. So it's like, I was really active, right? So the monkey in me enjoys it. Is it very necessary? No. Do I take phone calls on it? No. Do I have notifications? I actually have it on airplane mode consistently. Right? It's always on, because I don't want Bluetooth on my body the whole day. So it's on airplane mode. But luckily you can use most of the things with it on airplane mode.
That's cool. Yeah, I just feel that companies are trying to make shit that people don't really need.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what about VR? Do you think that's one of those things where like, ooh, we're going to like be in a different world and everything's going to be amazing? Or do you think it's just like...
Well, I think that'll fit really well into the entertainment category.
Yeah. I've actually used HTC Vivo, I think it's called.
Was it good?
It's the one with the 2 remotes and the helmet. Yeah, it's actually really cool because you move around the room and like your hands turn into guns, you know?
Yeah.
You can shoot zombies that are like in your face, so it's actually pretty fun. I was actually pretty scared of the zombies, but yeah.
And you're getting exercise out of it.
And yes, and you sweat. So my friend, he's like, I gave my mask back to him, and it was like dripping of sweat. He's like, I'm gonna have to buy a new, because you can put on like new covers.
Yeah.
So yeah, he went on Amazon and bought a new cover straight away because I sweated out the one he had.
So the way I look at it is, yes, this technology is cool, but there still needs to be a lot of innovation in old, unsexy businesses. Here's an example of this. Invisalign, teeth company. Why do you have to go to a dentist to do it? Why can't the phone scan your teeth and then through 3D printing print out plates so you can fix your crooked teeth and you don't have to spend $6,000? Why do healthcare companies still have archaic systems? Why aren't they more up-to-date and more efficient? Right? Why should you have to be in a waiting room for hours and hours or 30, 40 minutes before your appointment when you schedule something in advance? I just started seeing technology affecting the more traditional things in life that are old school, yet that still have a lot of revenue potential. Cars, hospitality, medical stuff, like all these industries are big. Grocery stores, they're really inefficient. I'm waiting for someone to re-innovate how you shop at grocery stores. Not just that, hey, click some buttons and shit gets delivered to you, or not just that, hey, your fridge tells you when stuff is empty and when you need to order more of it, but just the experience at the grocery store. It could be like, hey, you walk in, oh, Neil, based on your fridge, you need X, Y, and Z. Here's the aisles that you can get it at. You can click these buttons and someone will deliver to you or a machine will deliver it to you and then you're good to go. Right? Like, technology will change our lives and I think we're just starting to see the beginning of it.
I wonder what percentage of groceries we buy every week that are the same. You know?
Probably a lot. There's always a staple, right?
80%?
I don't know. I would probably say at least like 60%.
Yeah. So you could actually just put on, like if you went to Co-op down the road, you could say, I'm going shopping, and then when you go inside, like all those 60 things are in your basket already.
Yeah. So the average person, I'm looking it up, spent $369, I don't know how accurate it is, on groceries a month.
Okay. A month. Okay.
Yeah, it's consistent money. Grocery industry.
Seems a bit low, actually. They don't go to Whole Foods.
The offline grocery industry is a $600 billion industry. Very little innovation in it, though.
Yeah.
Not online, just pure offline, according to Business Insider. So I'm waiting for companies to re-innovate a lot of that kind of stuff.
It's actually a really interesting company in Norway called Colonial, which means grocery store in Norwegian. And what you do is you go online and you purchase recipes. So it's like you choose like salmon, whatever, for 2, 4, 6, or 8 people. And then you click buy and then they put all those ingredients in your bag and then they ship it home to you.
Cool.
So you can buy like 5, and they suggest like 5, because you like this dinner, you can buy these 4 other dinners and that will complement whatever, whatever diet you have. So if you're vegetarian, it'll sample lots of recipes for you, and they'll drive it home to you, so you don't have to go shopping at all. You don't even need to know what to make.
Funny enough, I've never been to Norway. On a side note, I always wanted to go there.
You should come. Let me know.
Have you been there?
I'm from Norway.
Originally?
Yeah. I'm Norwegian. Yeah, I'm born in London, but I'm Norwegian. I've basically grown up there.
Have you seen the show Lilyhammer?
I have. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I enjoyed that.
They stopped making it, right? Or is it still being produced?
I think they're making a third season.
Oh, you're behind. There's already 3 seasons.
Oh, then I think they're making a 4th season. I'm not sure. My girlfriend just gave me a look like, you should know this. But I don't know that. But it was fun. Did you enjoy? Did you like the show?
I love the show.
It is quite like that, you know.
They stopped making it.
They stopped making it.
Yeah, I just googled it. There's 3 seasons, and that was it.
Oh well, maybe it'll have to be like an Oslo Hammer or something. I don't know. So let's talk about your book. Let's talk about your book. Why are you writing a book?
I'm writing a book because I want to help other people out.
Okay.
So I look at the dream, or you call it the American dream, or this dream that people have of succeeding in life, and it's changed over the years. The way you succeed is totally different, and it's funny. I see a lot of people. There's this concept in the book: owning dreams versus renting dreams, right? And when you're working, there's nothing wrong working 9 to 5. But when you're working 9 to 5, and let's say you're that barista at Starbucks, you're renting a dream. You're working for someone else. You're helping someone else succeed their life goals. And if your goal is to be the best barista in the world, that's fine. Work there. But how can people succeed when they may not have the best education in the world, they may not have the most money in the world, and they're not well connected? So most people think, oh, the odds are stacked against me, and all hope is lost. But that's not the case. There's a ton of people who've done all right when the odds were stacked against them. Look at me, for example. Immigrant, parents didn't have much money. I don't have the best education by any means. I wasn't well networked. I even lost deals in many cases because of my network, ethnicity, whatever it may be. And you know what? When I look at all of this kind of stuff, I don't believe it's an excuse for not succeeding. And the book that we released, I have 2 co-authors, Patrick Bloskowitz and Jonas Koffler. We created a book called Hustle, in which we teach you how to hack life and succeed, right? And get to what you want while having things against you.
So talk us through your framework of how to succeed in life, how to hack life and succeed.
Yeah, there's many different concepts. The biggest thing in hacking life is you have to first figure out what you're passionate about. So, for example, you want to do a clothing company because you're just like, cool, this would be awesome. I love this.
I just want to make stuff without any sort of complicated. I just want to make designs, put them online. That's it.
Yeah, so there's many concepts and frameworks within the book. But one of the things we cover is finding what you love in life. Now, when you find what you love, most people think, hey, you know what? It's too late. I'm already 30 or 40. I can't find out what I love. Or I just don't know how to figure it out. I thought that you're born in, as a kid, you know you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a basketball player or whatever, and that's how you figure out what you love. That's not really the case. Most people figure out what they like and don't like by trying. Just like food. When you eat food, you will try multiple dishes and be like, oh, I don't want this anymore, right? Same thing when it comes to your passion. You will typically find what you love in life based on just trying and experimenting. So you'll do quite a few things, and you'll get to what your passion is. So for example, with me, I realized marketing was my passion after I started my first business, which is a job board. Failed miserably, but I learned how to get traffic to my own website, and I fell in love with marketing. And once you find what you fall in love with, you're much more likely to put in the time, the effort, do better at it. You won't see it as a job, and you're much more likely to succeed, right? That's another example. Also, a lot of people feel that they're not lucky. One of my co-authors, Patrick, has a boy, and he was looking for fish in a pond, a little riverbank. And his dad looked, and he's like, oh, there's no fish in there, son, let's go home. So the son looked at the dad, didn't say anything. He just hopped into the little riverbed, shuffled his feet, and all these little fishes started popping up. He's like, see, Dad, there's fish. He made his own luck. He manufactured it. Most people believe that you just stand there and shit that you want, good stuff is supposed to happen. That's not how the world works. You got to push. You got to make some momentum. And we teach you a lot of those concepts within the book.
So in the book, what do you recommend when life hits you in the head with a brick. So basically, like when your job board thing failed, how do you deal with failure?
Well, you're only really failing if you quit and you give up. And if the job board fails, if you learn from those mistakes and you keep pushing forward, you may not have to push forward as with the job board. You can push forward with something else. But if you give up and you decide you're not going to push forward with anything else in life and you're just going to sit back and sit on a couch and watch TV, that's failure. But the way you push forward is you keep learning from your mistakes. You realize what doesn't work for you, what does work for you, and you keep doing more of the things that does work for you. And when you fail, you make mistakes. You keep avoiding those mistakes so you don't want to make them over and over again. And you'll eventually succeed as you push forward. People look at me and they're just like, Neil, you've done really well. And I don't think I've done that well. But people are like, oh, you've done really well. You got a ton of rewards from people. You made good money. What was the trick? And I was like,
you've got an iPhone 5 SE?
Yeah, you got an iPhone 5 SE. I don't have an Apple Watch. But it comes down to I made a lot of mistakes early in my career, and I kept making them. And once I learned from them and I avoid making the same mistakes over and over again, it doesn't matter what new business I started, that really helped me succeed because I eventually learned what not to do.
So is it so I started my first business when I was 26, 27. I think I just turned 27. And I still felt like, ooh, I should have done this earlier. Is it harder to fail when you get older, or when do you recommend to start?
I think you can start at any age. It's easier when you start younger, but you can start at any age. You can be 6 years old and start. It's never too late.
Okay. Because a lot of people are, worried about how other people will see them. So let's say somebody's like 40, they start a business and it fails.
Yeah, who cares what other people think, right? It makes you happy, go for it.
Yeah. And is that something that you've learned throughout? So like when you were starting out, were people like making fun of you for your website and stuff like that?
Yes. They were also going to be like, you should just go get a job. You don't know what you're doing. You're wasting money. I eventually figured it out. But yeah, I had a lot of naysayers out there saying, you can't do this.
Do you find that all entrepreneurs have to sort of go through the same hoops? So like fear of failure, fear of being humiliated publicly, people tell you to get a job, because a lot of those things that you're saying is something that people have been telling me as well. But when I do stuff now, they're just like, oh, Erland's doing this. Okay, well, fine, because that's what he does. He does like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think like the journey of the entrepreneur is pretty much the same for everyone?
I do not think it's the same for everyone, but it's very similar.
Okay, so same challenges, similar
a lot
challenges.
of people face the same challenges. There's some people who have totally different journeys. There's an entrepreneur out of New York, and he's an American kid, and everyone's like, wow, look at him. He's raised over $100 million, really smart, went to a great school, and every business he touches turns into gold. Like, he's made a ton of good investments. Yeah, the kid's probably struggled, but his dad's worth over $1 billion, so his journey is quite a bit different. He raised a lot of money to start off with because his dad helped him out.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different for every person, but in most cases, for first-time entrepreneurs who don't have much, a lot of the journey is similar.
So
the concept, at least. You get a lot of ups and downs, some scary moments, some good moments. You make a lot of mistakes, but yeah.
So what did you learn from actually writing this book? What was the process like?
It's a pain in the butt. So I learned that it takes forever to write a book. Publisher helped out a lot. They were great. It's just hard to create a book that applies for a good, large demographic. And when you're going through it, it's like out there forever. It's not like a blog post that you can delete. It's just like, okay, if I write the book, it has to be really good. My name's on it. How do I keep making it better and better? How can I make it timeless? All these things matter. But it's just a hard process, from the outlining to writing the chapters to then making it flow really well to editing it. It just takes forever. But luckily, our editor was good too. But our publisher, Rodale, helped with a lot of stuff, including the editing.
And are you adding lots of ways of getting traffic through the book? Is that part of your strategy?
No, one of my strategies for writing the book is just help people out, and people get value from it. it'll help indirectly with business or branding or whatever it may be, but I don't care to make a direct return on it. I just want to first create something that has its own legs. Like I look at Malcolm Gladwell, Tim Ferriss. They've written books that'll last a long time. I don't know if I can actually end up doing that. It's tough to, but I'm hoping the book has an impact, not just over the next few years, but 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
And it's out on September the 16th this year, 2016?
I believe so. I think you just looked it up.
I did just look that up, actually. How did you know? Are you a mind reader?
I am.
Okay. So, So are you going on a big book tour when the time comes as well?
No, I don't have time for that. I'll push the book really hard online, but I'm not going to go from state to state. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to like getting emails from people saying like this book really changed my life and had a big impact on me?
I hope I can get there. I don't know if I will, but I really hope I can get there. And if it does, I'm happy. If I can't, then I tried. I put my best foot forward. Hopefully I can learn from it. And then next go around, if I decide to do another book, hopefully, it all works out.
I've got a question for you about our website, hardcoremba.com. Any tips on that website? We've got your hello bar in there. I know this is just, I didn't prepare you for this.
It's okay. It's actually really easy. I'm going to have to probably pause your video that's about to play. I don't know if it's going to play automatically. No, it does not.
No, it doesn't. No, we're very, we don't let it play automatically. Is that what you recommend?
No, I would add an exit pop-up to collect emails. That'll work better than anything else. What else would I do if I were you? Find a podcast search. I would have email opt-ins at the end of each post and in the sidebar. I would, you have About Us, which is great. There's too many colors going on.
Okay.
Especially in the header area.
Yeah, you're getting like, ooh, so many faces. Why are they looking at me?
Yes, I'll try to make it all black and white so that way people can focus on the video and then your text. What else would I would change? You can cross-link more, like in your sidebar. I would link to your most popular pages. You'll get more search traffic by doing that. I'm clicking on a post. You should have the share button scroll with you. Maybe they do, I just can't see it. That'll help you get more social shares.
It sounds to me like right now you're actually going through like fundamentals. Like you're going through like a checklist now. You're like, oh, are they doing this? No, okay, check, mention that. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just going in my head because I know like basic things that work for almost all blogs, podcast sites, etc. So it's like, all right, what fundamentals could you be doing?
And so many people get them wrong.
That's correct. Even your work less and earn more, click here.
Yeah.
Seem like a button. I wouldn't even assume to click there. It just seems part of the design.
Right. It doesn't look like a button.
Yes.
So on our YouTube channel, what we started doing a couple of weeks.
In news, you have in the news, and you have all these logos. It's distracting. The goal should be to get people to get to the content as quick as possible, or opt in.
Right. Content or opt in.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We will make those changes. Thank you for your feedback on that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, on our YouTube, there's a quote by Bruce Lee. It's something like, "I don't fear the guy that knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the guy that has practiced one kick 1,000 times." Right? It's like fundamentals. Just get really good at the fundamentals first before you can move to whatever the next level.
Yeah.
And where can we get access to your checklist that you just mentioned?
I don't have a checklist online, but you can go to like neilpatel.com/blog, and all the tactics are written about there.
And through your page, how many opt-ins are you getting like on a daily basis?
Maybe like 1,000.
1,000 opt-ins a day.
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of opt-ins a year. How big is your email list?
It's big.
Wow.
It's in the Sometimes they have unsubscribes, you have some duplicates for the opt-ins, but it's big. It grows fast.
So, what is your favorite business book?
I don't have a favorite business book.
Okay. Top 3?
There's one that's really amazing.
Hustle.
Never Work Again.
Hustle.
Alpha Hustle is number 2. Alpha Never Work Again is number 1.
Okay, what entrepreneur really inspires you?
Elon Musk. Not because he's rich. I just think his ideas are so crazy, and he doesn't understand I don't believe he understands the concept of quitting or losing. That the guy just cranks through and he makes some of these things that we don't think possible into reality. The guy is really brilliant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And where do you want to be in sort of 3 years' time? What was 3 to 5 years' time? What's your big sort of goal going forward?
Just help more people out. There's no real goal like financial or anything, but I just want to help more people out.
Fantastic. So where can we get more information about you? neilpatel.com?
Yep, that works.
And guys, please look out for Neil's book coming out on the 16th of September. If you've enjoyed this interview, check out his website. Hit like underneath, share it. It really helps us reach a larger audience. Neil, you've been awesome and fantastic. So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This podcast is brought to you by MrOutsource.com. Outsourcing to the Philippines done for you. Mr. Outsource is a recruitment company matching busy entrepreneurs with Filipino virtual assistants, so you can have the time to focus on what's important.